40 knots, and it's moving westwards towards the Sea of Oman. The Civil Aviation Authority calls on everyone to follow weather forecast and news. The activities of the 14th Scout Camp for the Scouts of the universities and higher education institutions of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries concluded in the Wilaya of Salalah under the slogan Inspiration and Empowerment. The camp aimed to provide students of the universities of the GCC countries with knowledge, skills and leadership capabilities and to solidify values of cooperation and cohesion. 250 scouts from 20 Gulf universities participated in the camp, which included leadership, safety and technology courses, training workshops, lectures and dialogue sessions, in addition to sports and cultural activities and visits to tourist and heritage landmarks in the Far Governorate. Five Palestinians, including a child, were killed in Israeli occupation forces shelling of the eastern part of Khan Yunis in the south and Jabalia camp in the northern Gaza Strip. Medical sources indicated that the occupation aircraft targeted a house east of Khan Yunis, killing 3 Palestinians and wounding others. Meanwhile, 2 Palestinians, one of them a child, were killed when the occupation forces shelled a residential apartment near Al-Hawja Jabalia camp north of Gaza. Floods that swept through districts in northern Yemen this week have killed at least 33 people and damaged more than 200 houses. Heavy rains that began Tuesday as part of Yemen's monsoon season have caused major flooding and unleashed rock slides in the Melhan districts of Al-Mawhid province. The floods have killed 33 people, destroyed 28 houses and caused cracks in 200 others. Yemen's Red Crescent said yesterday that 38 people are still missing and that the agency is actively looking for them. Over 33,000 families throughout the country have been impacted by the floods since the monsoon season began in Yemen mid-July. Fierce fighting continued on multiple fronts between Russia and Ukraine as Russia yesterday claimed it has controlled 2 settlements and hit various targets of the Ukrainian forces, and Ukraine said its forces are trying to contain the Russian offensive. The Russian Defense Ministry reported yesterday that its forces have controlled 2 settlements in Donetsk and Luhansk regions while hitting various Ukrainian targets, including electronic warfare, base station, British cruise missiles, warehouses and fuel depot. According to the report, the Russian air defense system shot down aerial bombs, rockets and drones launched by the Ukrainian forces. The Russian army repelled Ukrainian attacks in the Kursk region, destroying multiple rocket launcher systems and several armored vehicles of the Ukrainian forces. European Union defense ministers called on allies to deliver on all weapons promises to Ukraine and discuss Ukraine's capabilities for air defense in their first meeting in Brussels after the summer break. European Union High Representative Joseph Borrell said that lifting restrictions on using weapons inside Russia is a national issue for countries supplying the arms, but defended the use of weapons against Russian military targets and rejected claims it amounts to European Union involvement in a war against Russia. Belgium, Denmark, the Netherlands and Norway have committed to providing Ukraine with more than 60 planes. That number is dwarfed by the Russian jet fighter fleet, which is around 10 times larger. According to Kiev officials, Ukraine needs at least 130 F-16 fighters jets to neutralize Russian air power. A major forest fire burning in southern Ecuador has consumed nearly 3,900 hectares of pine forest and grasslands. As of yesterday, the Secretary of Risk Management had reported 3 people injured and 14 families evacuated from the area in the province of Loja. Fire crews said it started 6 days ago on a hillside in the rural area of Quilang, when baggage was set alight on a small farm. About 100 people, including firefighters, soldiers and volunteers, are working to fight the blaze. Firefighters initially brought it under control, but adverse weather conditions and strong winds reignited the flames. Typhoon Shanshan, which made its landfall yesterday in Japan, has dumped heavy rain that left at least 4 people dead and dozens more injured and caused the suspension of flights and bullet train services. The storm ripped through the southwestern Japanese islands of Kyushu after making landfall yesterday morning in Kagoshima Prefecture. At least 4 people have been killed, more than 90 injured, and 1 missing as of the early hours of today morning, according to local media outlet NHK. Shanshan, the 10th typhoon of the year, has brought strong winds and torrential rain across large swathes of the country, disrupting business and transportation services. Japan Airlines and All Nippon Airways, 2 of the country's largest carriers, have cancelled 1,127 domestic flights scheduled for Thursday and Friday. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Moody's agency revises its outlook for the Sultanate of Oman from stable to positive. The tropical depression in the Arabian Sea develops into a tropical storm named Asna. And 5 Palestinians martyred by Israeli occupation bombardment on Khan Yunis, Gaza. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin, brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. From me and the entire news team, we thank you for joining us, wish you a pleasant evening, and good night.